Hey, it's November 18th, 2016. This is the 8th. Hey, guys, why are you guys wearing the same clothes as last week?
It's my lucky shirt.
No comment.
What is this? Hey, Megan, you want to swear for the camera?
Nope, not this time.
All right, this is the 8th. This will be good. All right. We've decided to start the 8 back up without Sean because he vanished for a minute. Well, there he is. That's wonderful. Welcome back.
Thank you.
It was a 7. Now we're at 8.
Great.
Great. That rhymes with 8.
Yes.
Welcome. It doesn't. Welcome to the Small Business Saturday edition of the 8. Let's start with the buzz. It's Small Business Saturday. What should we expect in this issue, Megan?
Well, we're talking to a bunch of different brands, and the point that we want to get across here is that all of these brands are very much ingrained in their local communities and doing things to give back. For example, I interviewed franchisee Jeremy from Sport Clips, who was in Louisiana when the floods hit, and he kind of rallied with his whole team, and they raised funds and gave free haircuts to the community and just sort of gave them a place to like regain a sense of normalcy when everything else was just not making sense and their homes were destroyed. And it was just a really great example of even though this is a huge brand across the country, that these people are very, very local and very community focused.
It's great. And I think as we continue through the 8s with the 4 of us, which is 8 divided by 2.
Good.
We'll continue to talk about community and neighbors and the way that franchisees are actually operators on the local basis, which I think is critical for you, our viewer, especially those that are uneducated on franchising, to understand that franchisees are local businesses, and Small Business Saturday is just as much about the operators that are already in the system as well as those who are looking to get into it. For Brand of the Week, Miracle Method, 140 locations, $75,000 to $120,000 to get into it, $40,000 to $50,000 franchise fee. I'll go through each of our 3 members on their thoughts on Miracle Method. So start thinking about it, Reagan. Few stories on their sites, which is miraclemethod.1851franchise.com. Entrepreneur turns passion for housing industry into a successful business opportunity. The Miracle Method has been recognized as a top franchise for military veterans. The Sun Focus did a story about Miracle Method opening its 2nd location in the Twin Cities area. Strong revenues and franchise sales set Miracle Method up for a record year. Demand for refinishing service drives franchisor to target Florida. Those are some of the stories on the page. Let's start with Sean. Sean, what do you like about Miracle Method as a franchise opportunity?
It is a unique and very cool product that kind of reaches a consumer that may not have the money to like do a full remodel, and it's something that you can put in your kitchen or your bath that can make it look more modern at a very affordable price. So I think it's very unique and it's a cool concept.
Great. Megan?
What I enjoy about them is that how invested they are in their franchisees. Every year they host these workshops and seminars that's open to franchisees, office managers, technicians, and they kind of bring everyone together just to kind of teach them and prepare them for the year ahead with the new technologies, new products that they're offering, so that they can go back to their office and like have the best start possible.
That's great. And Cassie?
I know this has been mentioned a lot on the 8, but Miracle Method really is a brand that goes out of its way to care for its franchisees. They have a team working from a corporate standpoint that's kind of looking to bring their local accounts, these potentially like national accounts like universities or bigger things that need refinishing services. So it's kind of a combination of both the franchisee and the franchisor working together.
Strong support, strong franchisees, strong models, good products, good information. Go check out their page. Number 6, our people story. We're going to skip stories this week and talk more about themes since it's Small Business Saturday. We'll go to Sean with this. How are small business owners marketing their businesses for a day like, or how can they for a day like Small Business Saturday, and how can they use this as an opportunity to educate the community that they are actually a business operator, even though they're labeled as a franchisee?
I think it was a great opportunity to help tell the story about franchising, that these are local, independent-owned businesses. They may be associated with a larger brand, but they are locally owned and operated. And I think being and participating in that and educating the consumer that franchises are local business owners. So I think it's a key opportunity for them.
All right, Megan, a day like this, for our profit story, a day like this, how can it drive sales for local businesses?
Well, I think when you look at something like Black Friday, it creates this. It's not very personal, and I think people are hungry for a little bit more of a community feel, something that they feel like they can be connected to emotionally. And I think when you put those two things in contrast, people are very eager to be part of something where they feel like they're actually giving back to a family that's invested their time and money into a business.
That's great. Cassie, for our Places piece this week, why do you think the public doesn't see franchisees as locally owned and operated? And do you think franchisees, when they're buying into a system, actually understand how intricate a franchise system is? And is this lack of education hurting our franchise brands on a local level?
I think it could be if this lack of education is kind of going into franchisees when they're signing on. Hopefully through the Discovery Day process, they're learning that there are a lot of ins and outs that come with being a local owner. I think the public doesn't necessarily know that they're dealing with small business owners on a local level because they're used to something like a McDonald's that they see national ads for, and they're not aware that it's their neighbor who really owns this business and has put their all into it. So I think an event like Small Business Saturday really gives them an opportunity to say, yes, this is a national brand, but this is my business that I've built with the help of this larger operation.
Yeah, and for our columns piece, I'm just going to add some feedback onto what you guys have said. The true reason why I got involved in franchising, and given it was on accident, I think probably for all of us, we've accidentally fallen into franchising, whether it was Sean accidentally falling into it as a business owner, not knowing that he was going to be a franchise, the two of you not taking or choosing a path to be a franchise journalist, but falling into it. And me, I fell into a franchise PR firm. But what I loved most about repping franchisees was that they invested their life savings into these brands, and they're hoping to make a better life for themselves and their families. Oftentimes, they're seen as a part of a big, giant corporation, and that's not the case. They're the ones that have invested the money at the local level. And it's sad that a lot of our consumers don't understand that these franchisees, they've put everything on the line, whether they have 1 unit or they have 100 units. So it's cool that there's a day like this that recognizes locally owned businesses, and even though they feel like they're a part of a chain, they're actually not. They're locally owned and operated, and that's a key part of this story. In the media, Megan, I'll go to you. What makes a great story on the local level?
I'm going to go back to my story that I did on Sport Clips with the flooding in Louisiana. I think it's, when you look at Sport Clips, being as big as it is, being as wide sweeping across the country as it is, to see this very specific owner in Louisiana putting everything he has into giving back to the community, helping his team members, helping the people who come into the store. He put everything aside, operating the store, to be able to give back and rebuild the community. And I think that when you hear that much passion and care that people have, really makes a great local story.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's great to hear that. And finally, our thought of the week, we're going to go to you, Sean. What's new in franchising?
Well, the election is over, and I think it's good news for franchising, not necessarily the outcome of the election, but just the fact that it's no longer an election year. No, people should not be waiting on the sidelines anymore, and they should help people who are now ready to get into business, and I think it's going to be positive for that aspect to be over with, and franchising, then people get back to normal.
I mean, it's been a long-running joke between Sean and I that what's new in franchising. Are you happy that I was able to ask that on the...
Yes.
Man, this guy, I mean, 1 second he's providing you, our viewer, with the greatest answer ever, and the next it's like, yes. That's the 8.